power.
This is not some cute technology like the Iron Man suit. We do.
Welcome to another Slice of Sci-Fi video review. I'm Noah Richmond.
And I'm Daren Goldsvig.
Today we are talking about Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Yeah.
We're supposed to say it together? Nah, that's right. It's just, we're good.
I got this. Did you think you could stop the future? You're just a...
Well, so for me, Ant-Man was a light, fun movie, and it's a good summer popcorn movie. I did feel like it was a formula-driven film. You could tell this was made by a big studio. It didn't have all the heart of something that had one creative force behind it. It wasn't like Guardians of the Galaxy with James Gunn or Avengers with Joss Whedon, where you could tell this was one creative mind's real passion project. This one had a little more of a tumultuous production history, with the original writer Edgar Wright having had creative differences and left. And I did feel like you could kind of tell that the had a large studio production quality about it. It didn't have as many laughs as I was expecting, considering it was the original screenplay was written by somebody who's primarily comedy is his forte,
Yeah.
and that this director is primarily a comedy director. But is it entertaining? Sure. It's a light, fun, entertaining summer movie. And if you can accept that it's going to be somewhat generic and somewhat formula, it's a nice time at the movies. It's fun. It's aimed at families.
With this movie, I did enjoy it. I was going in kind of expecting a little, kind of the way I was with the Guardians of the Galaxy. It seemed like, first of all, Ant-Man is kind of a corny superhero if you think about it. He shrinks and he commands ants. I was surprised, though, the movie didn't have more jokes that would capitalize on that, with size and things that it could be put into, like, promiscuous things. And again, that's why you go back to the statement about how it panders to a specific audience, Growing up, I was a fan of Ant-Man in a group per se, but individually, I couldn't put him up there as a top 10 superhero. I was a fan of Dr. Hank Pym, though, because of all the heroes he did create. And of course, in this movie, one of the main antagonists goes by the name of Yellow Jacket. And if anybody's familiar with the Marvel history, you'll know that Yellow Jacket was actually a good guy, and was actually Dr. Hank Pym. And so that's okay as well, because here we're talking about letting go of some of the history there and adapting it to a new universe. And so I've learned a long time ago I have to do that with some of these Marvel movies. But I enjoyed it. I actually was kind of interested in how the audience was reacting. We saw it in an IMAX 3D, and it seemed like the feedback was really good. I made a comment about not as laughing out loud moments, and I didn't have any of those either, but it seemed like other people had those. And I almost felt like, what was I missing? I want to see the movie that these people are laughing at. And maybe it's because I just expected it to be as funny. Like Guardians of the Galaxy had some laugh out loud moments.
Right.
But the pacing, it just didn't feel right. But I still enjoyed it. It's becoming a part of the history that's being developed for Marvel. And I am interested to see where they're going to take him, because as you know, he's got such a huge influence on the Marvel universe and the outcome of what's going to happen with Infinity Gauntlet. So, with the movie itself, being relatively enjoyable, but what did you think about some of the action sequences, and is it becoming over the top fatiguing like we've been seeing, or is it?
No, actually, that was one thing that it was a welcome relief to get back to just a good character-driven story, where it was really about introducing the people and getting behind sort of the fun of this character in this outfit, and playing around with the world and the universe.
And it is interesting, because this movie was really about character development, because you have to add some weight as to why I would even watch a man shrink to the size of an ant. I start thinking of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and of course that's not a good reference point if you want to talk about a superhero movie. But I was kind of annoyed by some of the characters in the movie. You know, they were almost like a facsimile of a stereotype that we've all grown accustomed to, and that was kind of unnecessary. But again, it was supposed to be there for a comedy element. I understand, but it felt forced and.
Yeah, right, exactly. And it was nice to see something where it wasn't nonstop bombardment, but at the same time, there were a lot of characters that were prominently featured, but that they were not very well fleshed out. They really came across as
annoying
and stereotypes of of who they were.
Yeah, I don't know. It just didn't feel necessary. But again, you know, we're picking it apart here. I did enjoy it, and I would watch it again for sure, because just maybe watching some of the things I'd missed, you know, some of the little, I don't want to call them Easter eggs, because there are some in there.
Right.
But yeah, just to see what may have been missed.
Anyway, so I think that's our thoughts on Ant-Man, and thank you for watching Slice of Sci-Fi.
Go watch it. You'll have fun. See ya.
Okay.